All right, everybody, welcome back to Beans No Ball and the final edition of our 3-day NFL draft coverage. Now, obviously, same as we said, this is going to go by a little quicker, got a little less things that we're really going to go into. But Christian, let's just get it started right away with round four.
Yeah, so obviously it's probably going to be the first pick I'm gonna go over, which is one of my Texas boys going to the Carolina Panthers. Jatavion Sanders, at the tight end from Texas. I honestly like this pick from Carolina. They have a pretty decent draft here, and they did pick up a pretty steal at the tight end position here. So I'm really good. I really do like this pick from Carolina. Putting the bias aside, I still think this is a great pick for them at the tight end spot.
Yeah, I told you when we were kind of watching this earlier. I mean, the main thing with this pick is that it's a surprise that he fell to the fourth. I believe it
Yeah.
was the Commanders that I kept telling you they picked up a guy out of Kansas State, I believe, and I would have expected to see Sanders here. And I mean, going on right to the next pick, Troy Franklin. Christian, I know you were really hoping. I mean, it was a surprise that he fell this far, and you were maybe hoping that he would keep falling a little bit more to the Cowboys. Obviously, that wasn't really going to be in the cards. And no, with the Broncos, with the really depleted receiving core, we know obviously losing half their team pretty much it seems, and Cortland Sutton seems to have one foot out the door. Definitely seems like a great weapon for whether it be Bo Nix or Zach Wilson.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Regardless, adding another receiver to, like you said, that receiving core that really doesn't seem to live up to kind of the help for the next season. I mean, look, Jerry Judy already got traded the couple months ago, and then like you said, Cortland Sutton, he doesn't have the juice like he used to here. And speaking of another weapon too that I was keeping my eye on, Javon Baker from UCF. He did end up going to the Patriots at the 110th pick here. I I didn't expect Javon to fall to the fourth. If I'm being honest, I expect them to be like an early third round pick here. But Javon Baker, I really did like him. Watching him, I really hoped that he fell to the Cowboys here. But the Patriots did end up scooping him up here, and this is a good pick for the Patriots since they are really in need of a receivers.
Yeah, and I told you to really, really surprised that he fell this way. I mean, the Patriots look, he had a pretty good draft. A little confused at why they took, I believe, was it them who took Joe Milton or who was it?
They took Joe Milton.
Yeah, because they were the ones who
Yeah.
took Joe Milton. So that was a surprise to me. Apart from that, they really did hit most of their needs in this draft. And, keeping with receiver, Tez Walker, someone else, I mean, a huge list of guys that really surprised that they lasted into day three. And, I mean, the Ravens, we know that they've desperately in need of wide receivers. Probably not as much as some teams, but the wide receiver core was already a little skeptical, and you're already losing OBJ, so you need some help for Zay Flowers, and I think this is a pretty good addition for them.
Yeah, and another pick that kind of did hurt me a bit, Jalen Wright. He did end up going to the Miami Dolphins here. Honestly, they're boosting up that running back core for the Dolphins. So I'm not too upset about that. Jalen Wright, he's another guy that I'm surprised he did fall to the fourth round here. The guy from Tennessee here. I really do enjoy this pick for the Dolphins. I mean, him and Mostert, that could be a nice duo coming to next season.
Yeah, and I was that's already two guys that the Dolphins end up taking that you probably would have wanted on
Yeah.
the Cowboys. We'll get into the second one in a bit, but I mean, I think this move kind of tells you as much as, they did extend, they restructured and extended Raheem Mostert. I think that's kind of ushering in Jalen Wright, maybe expecting the Mostert era to come to an end in Miami. And someone maybe not too known. Well, actually, no, before that, I'm gonna go back to the Ravens, TJ Tampa. We were saying, I had him in the first round, and I'm so surprised that he fell all the way to the fourth. And huge value for this pick. That secondary, which a lot of people were expecting the Ravens to really hone in on that secondary. I don't see it as much of a need as a lot of people do, but I definitely do think this bolsters it up pretty nicely.
Yeah, I mean, me and you were both surprised that he even fell this far in the draft here. I mean, it's a steal for the Ravens. Like you said, maybe secondary is not really the priority they should have gone for, but I mean, it's always good bolstering up that secondary, especially coming to next season with some pretty tight matchups to come into. And now moving into the fifth round here. I'm just gonna start it off with my pick actually. So we ended up getting the cornerback Kalen Carson from Wake Forest. I mean, I'm in love with this. I mean, look, we got depth. I mean, sure. At first, I was kind of skeptical because we didn't take a receiver here, but when I saw him, I saw his game. I instantly looked up, his highlights, and he's good. He's a physical back, and that's exactly what we need in the secondary. We need some physical corners that can get helped up paired with Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland.
There's a price for us to start with at the end, but yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking about this. I mean, I'm not too familiar with him. I'll be honest. And I know, like you said, you kind of weren't either. But I mean, with Kalen Carson, I know the first thing you said, like, shit, he got cooked by Keon. But I mean, a lot of people did. Can't really knock him on there. We'll go back a little bit. Jordan Travis, someone that I honestly expected to be there, probably right around where I expected. I told you probably 5th round was where he would likely go, and I mean, I would have loved the Rams to be able to pick him up. I told you it would have been a nice contingency plan. BR a little Jordan Love as he heals from that ACL. But I mean, in all honesty, that's just exactly what they're gonna end up doing for Aaron Rodgers, and what a guy to learn under.
Yeah, and then another quarterback that we and you were kind of expected to drop a little low, Spencer Rattler. He ended up going with the Saints here, and I'm nice with this pick here, right? I mean, look, we could already make an early prediction that, look, he could already have the potential to take a Carr's spot in the next season. It is very much possible here, and we probably know why. I mean, not looking into why he dropped. I mean, look, people were saying about that one high school clip from not that long ago that kind of brought that for his character, kind of brought him down. Some other things,
he's mature.
Yeah,
then, man.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, really, it was more of his game and how he ended up playing out at Oklahoma. But without a doubt, I do like this pick for the Saints here. It's gonna be a nice battle between him and Carr during not the offseason, during camp, to see who's gonna end up getting the starting position.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I get the character concerns from his past, but I mean, he's grown from that. I mean, there was a lot of concerns from his time in Oklahoma, and ever since his time in South Carolina. I mean, I'm not going to say he was a standout prospect, but as a man, he matured, and I mean, he did improve from that time in Oklahoma. So I do like the pick, especially for value in the 5th round. I mean, took what, like 140, 130 picks to get another quarterback off the board. Pretty surprising to see that, but I'm gonna take it back to the Rams. I believe this was our only 5th round pick. Yeah, I think so. So Brandon Jackson out of Washington State. Now, I didn't expect to go edge rusher again, but it is a pretty big need. So, I mean, getting Jared Verse and Brandon Jackson, I mean, Jackson's basically going to be some depth off the edge. So, I mean, I'm liking that. And then, I mean, out of Washington State, I got to see him a bit, obviously in the Pac-12, and I'm pretty familiar with him. I really do enjoy his game, and definitely, I mean, like I said, definitely going to be a great option for Def to come off probably behind Verse.
Yeah, and I'm going to stay in the topic with oh shit, I already spiced out. Never mind, I got it. So I'm going to stay on the topic with the Saints here. I mean, they get Bub. They end up getting Bub Means from Pittsburgh at receiver here. This is another receiver that was still left on the board as one of the better receiver prospects here. That's another one that kind of did hurt me, right? I mean, I was looking into it from Pittsburgh. He's a shifty receiver, and the Saints ended up getting to him quicker than me. I like this pick for this year, bolstering up that receiving core. I think this is more of a depth one, if I'm really being honest here. But by all means, without a doubt, this is still a great pickup for them, and kind of use them really, hopefully, in the slot for the most part.
I mean, it depends. In all honesty, we see the receiving core. I mean, apart from Chris Olave, what else do they really have? I mean, or Rashid Shaheed, I guess they do got that too. But I mean, I definitely see Bub Means having a possibility to. I mean, if everything shakes out the right way, I expect him to probably maybe fight for a spot in their starting roster. But moving into the 6th round, and I think I'll just go right away to my round pick. We have 4 picks in this round, and I definitely got a couple amount of things to say here. Starting with Tyler Davis. Now, I was pretty surprised. I'll just be honest. A DT out of Clemson, just didn't see the need for a DT. I'm gonna stand on that. I don't think this was a good pick. I was pretty disappointed in the moment, but look, Tyler Davis is a great prospect, and I'm not gonna knock it if Sean and Les were so high on him. Like, okay, let's see how this goes out. But in the end, this is gonna be a depth type of pick, and probably, I mean, we already got Braden Fisk, so that's the main reason I didn't really see this. I mean, I didn't see the vision here, but if he pans out, I'll eat my words. I'm not gonna say nothing about it.
Yeah, and then with the Cowboys pick, we finally end up getting a receiver, but it wasn't the receiver that we pretty much all expected, but we ended up getting Ryan Flournoy from Southeast Missouri State. I mean, looking at first, I was kind of like, man, Brendan Rice and Taj Washington were there. But I mean, look, we saw the reasons why Brendan Rice
And
was
Taj wasn't
falling,
going to go at this spot.
and Taj wasn't gonna go this early. So like you said here, but this was a guy that the Cowboys actually did bring in for a workout, and they instantly fell in love with him. They're instantly putting out the reports about Ryan Flournoy right after they picked him. And I mean, showing his game here, I mean, look, there's already reports of him saying that, like, people say he plays like Des Bryant. Not gonna gas it up there, not gonna gas it up at all right there, but I mean, his game kind of does look similar, kind of the same body as him. But without a doubt, this was for this pick, I love this pick, and really surprised that he fell to us right then and there. But once again, Jerry Scouting and the Will McClay, they're doing their best when it comes to receivers.
Yeah, I do like this pick for you, especially, we see the Brendan Rice situation, and I'm not to take it away from you, but I'm gonna just quick fire the rest of the Rams 3 picks in this round. So start off at 209. We this whole round we were thinking Brendan Rice for either of our teams, and at 209, bit of a surprise for us to go kicker, but at the end of the day, I mean, last season I was in shambles so much over our kicker, so I mean I'm not going to complain about this. And Joshua Carty, he's a phenomenal prospect. I mean, between him and Cam Little, who went to the Jaguars, I would have been fine taking either one of those. And I mean, Carty has insane range. He made 60+ yarders, so we won't have to worry about any 40 yarders missing, I would hope. And into 213, Jordan Whittington. This one, I mean, hey, he's a Texas boy. You know a good deal about him, but I don't know what the character concerns must have been with Brendan to take Whittington over him, but again, maybe we see something in him. I'm gonna trust their judgment, but I'm not the highest on Whittington at the moment. And Bo Limmer. Now, this is someone, Christian, I was really high on this pick right away. I was telling you, I was in love with the center out of Arkansas. Man squats 700 pounds, so I'm telling you, Matthew Stafford is safe.
Yeah, honestly, Matthew Stafford, he's finally getting the line that he deserves here. And I'm actually going to backtrack to how you mentioned Cardi. I know a guard that you really wanted was Christian Mahogany. Hopefully, I did not torture Mahogany.
He went to the
He went to the next pick. I know how you're saying you guys could have got him in a later pick this round, and you guys absolutely could have. But I know now you're satisfied with that. But this is a great pickup for the Lions, bolstering up that offensive line for Jared Goff. They're bolstering up even more. There's obviously some tiny flaws with that O-line that we saw last season when it came to helping them with the pass game, but this could be a really big setup for the Lions. They're doing everything so far. The Lions, they're doing everything right now, and I'm really enjoying this draft here. I know that kind of upset you a bit, and then I know we're gonna talk about Joe Milton from Tennessee already going to the Patriots. I feel like this is a solid backup for Drake May, who's probably, without a doubt, going to be the starter here. I don't see expect the quarterback battle there, but Joe Milton to just be a backup for Drake May. I think this is a pretty solid one for the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing for me is, I mean, it does suck for him for his career, because I mean, you go into a situation when they just drafted their quarterback of the future, you're really not going to see any game time. So I expect him to maybe get his time to shine in some garbage time at some point, and maybe go on to someone by his third year. I won't expect him to stay in New England long, and think we'll take it right into the 7th round. Now, I'm just gonna get my pick right out the way. We're right at the end at 254. KT Leveston out of Kansas State. I'm pretty happy about this pick. I mean, at this point, you're seeing what need you need to fill, who was best available at this point. And I mean, hey, I was pretty upset that we were going so defense heavy, but we ended up finishing off with a good deal of offense. And I mean, I'm honestly, apart from maybe a reach on Whittington and Davis, I do really love this draft for the Rams.
Yeah, honestly, your Rams, look, Les has been cooking. I know how some plays for you were a little, I guess, questionable, but without a doubt, look, it's really helping bolstering up the main needs that you guys need. And look, same thing with the Cowboys here. I mean, a pick for us, we got another old tackle, Nathan Thomas from Louisiana. I mean, there's another big guy. I mean, most of our picks, they came from the trenches, and this is exactly what I like. We're bolstering up that all in.
I was telling you, this is someone that if it wasn't Mahogany, I was really high on him, and he ended up dropping. So
yeah, and so Nathan Thomas, look, he ended up falling. Sure, look, there's a lot of mixed kind of reactions from both sides, but I like this pick. We're bolstering up that O-line. That's exactly what we need to do. We went O-line heavy this draft, and I perfectly like that. Obviously, there's some little flaws why it tends to drop. I mean, for him being that huge, like I've been seeing him. It's somewhat easy to get around him, but he's more of an anchor, which is kind of good to see there. But I'm really in love with this pick, and we're just building up that O-line, and that's exactly what we need to do for the future.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm pretty high on your draft as well, and I think we can get the elephant in the room out of the way. Christian, do you want to unload a bit on your thoughts on Brendan Rice falling all the way to the Chargers?
Yeah, dude. I know how me and you were just saying, jokes like he had to commit like some sort of war crime to be able to fall this far. I mean, look, when we're going over rounds 2 and 3, look. I was just saying if he was lucky to drop to us in the 5th, I would love that, but he would have most likely been taken in the 4th. Clearly, it was, and obviously, look, I obviously looked into it before our picks in the 7th round. I mean, look, there's mixed emotion. Look, we were able to see him. He was looking pretty well. I mean, look, he was a transfer from Colorado. Sure, his stats weren't the best. That's kind of why he was able to drop, and there was just a lot of mixed emotions saying like, oh, could be character issues. Maybe he's just not good. There's a lot of emotions there.
Well, I think the main thing a lot of people were talking about is it just seems like we really overhyped his value in the draft, in the draft process, like because of his name. Yeah, like a lot of people were like in mock drafts, like it was so expected to see him in like the 2nd, 3rd round because people would just see like, oh, it's Jerry Rice's son. He's
no,
the
second was no. So
I know, but a lot of people were definitely saying it just because I mean. Maybe less experienced people. Okay, let's say, you know, if we're really like looking into it, a lot of people were saying, you know, 3rd, 4th round. Let's try and say that. And I mean, yeah, a lot of people probably just overhyped them. I mean, it's like I said, it's one thing what mock drafts and analysts saying. It's one thing what the NFL head offices are actually thinking. So, I mean, I still think it's a phenomenal value pick for the Chargers. I think we're gonna be kicking ourselves taking Jordan Whittington over him. I'm gonna hold that to them. I mean, I think I remember seeing some Rams fans on Twitter showing a comparison between the two, and I mean, stats don't lie. So I mean, I'm gonna really hoping that doesn't come back to bite us. But I don't know, Christian. Anyone else in the 7th round that we really got into? You got another pick, I believe. You had a D tackle with Justin Rogers.
Yeah, that's another one I was gonna get into there. I mean, he's the run stopper. That's what pretty much the big juice of him is. He's good at stopping the run. And sure, a lot of people they keep saying his stat like his stats are mid. His RAS score was pretty weak here, but look, if he's a great run stopper, that's exactly what we need for that D line. Because look, me and you both know that Cowboys that run defense with the Cowboys. It really hasn't improved in the last 2 years here, so I am really excited about this one. And then another pick from actually for the both of us from our USC guy, Taj Washington did end up going to the Dolphins here. Kind of surprised that even Taj was able to drop this far here. I think he had a little edge over Brendan Rice, if I'm being honest here. He's kind of works a little out the slot there. Watching him in USC, he's small, but he's quick. He's electric. That's what I loved about Taj. I would have really hoped the Cowboys were to get them there, but that would have just been another flaw in the receiving core for the Cowboys. It's size here, but without a doubt, Taj Washington
and that's the thing I kept telling you over and over again. You don't need receiver. You have more glaring needs, and hey, you know I would have expected Jerry to pull the trigger on these big names. Yeah, that's my thing. I expected Jerry to pull the trigger on Brennan. I think by far he would have done that, and maybe even Taj. But I mean, hey, I mean. He had a good draft, and we'll get a little more into it right now. We're gonna kind of just give a final analysis on our teams, but I think Taj kind of fell where I expected. I thought he was gonna be mid 7th round, probably a little later than I thought, but roughly where I expected. And one last pick before we go. The Packers already got their own Jordan Love with Michael Pratt. See if he's gonna wait another what? He'll sit for 7 years and see if he's the next Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love type carousel thing they got. It's a surprise to me to see them take quarterback. I mean, hey, if they're don't really know what the vision was there. Probably could have gotten just an extra cornerback for depth here, but. Hey, I mean, I wasn't too high on Pratt to begin with, so seeing him in the 7th round is kind of what I expected, but probably not to the Packers. But that'll wrap up our analysis for day 3. Now, Christian, We could basically just give a little overview. Takeaways. I mean, could be just day three, could be the draft as a whole. What you think? What were your thoughts on Jerry's moves this year?
And then I expected so much downfall, but look, Jerry Cook, Wilma Cook. I really did enjoy the draft. I'm extremely excited for Gaiden and BB to take over that online spot, to take over that online position coming into next season. Those are the two guys I'm really high on. Even Kellen Carson now. I mean, still in that late of a round at the corner position, it makes sense. I mean, him, Diggs, Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis, who we just did re-sign. I mean, look, that's gonna stay there. I probably would have said Jay Lou, but he is our nickel, and that's the better position that he is good at. I'm really excited for Kellen Carson, and then even Florin Roy as well here at the receiver. He's gonna be your three. If I'm gonna be honest, there kind of maybe a little stretch here, but without a doubt, he's probably gonna be at our three spots. So we just gotta see what he does in camp, and when I go to Oxnard, see how it is and what goes for right then and there. But without a doubt, I really did enjoy the draft for the most part. Still upset about our running back position that we weren't able to pick going up. The fourth round, it was just running backs after running backs after running backs, and that's kind of the one weak point coming into the season. I'm pretty sure the status on Zeke here is
But you got Royce Freeman and Zeke Elliott.
It's gonna be Zeke and Dowdle at for the 1 and 2.
Don't
Zeke's
sleep
gonna be
on
the
Royce
one.
Freeman. I'll tell you, I expect Royce Freeman to have more looks.
No,
than
yeah,
Dowdle.
yeah, but Zeke's probably gonna not even probably Zeke's gonna be our one. Jerry's just gonna keep him at the one most likely, and Dowdle right now at the 2. Deuce probably at the 4, and then Freeman at the 3. Just a little upper edge there, but that's probably my only concern with the Cowboys coming into now. Obviously, we'll have another video in a couple months going over the before the season. But this running back situation right now, once again, the O-line's set for the trenches for a run game, but no run game when we really don't have a viable running back to kind of run the ball for us.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, maybe you can even get an undrafted free agent. We didn't really go over that, but maybe that's something you'll look into. But I mean, look, as for the Rams, definitely think this is probably like a B plus type draft in my eyes. I mean, I loved it. I feel maybe. I mean, B plus isn't harsh. I think that's pretty much what this deserves. I mean, we got home run picks in Inverse and Fisk. I can't say enough about that. And I mean, even Kinchins for the value we got him in the late third round. I think that's great. And the Corum picks pretty much growing on me more and more. I was already kind of high on it, but I mean, I love the idea of him and Kyron in that backfield. It's kind of a polar opposite of what you're going through right now. And look, the late rounds, I mean, hey, the big thing for me, I told you, expected us to draft a kicker. Probably would have expected in the 7th, but since everyone seemed to be going in the 6th, had to fill the need. And overall, I just told you, Jordan Whittington and Tyler Davis, they need to prove me wrong. I'm open to it. I want them to prove me wrong, but I'm not really sold on those picks. But aside from that, I thought just another phenomenal draft for Les and Sean, and can't wait to see this team play out into 2024. Now, of course, that's gonna do it for us for draft coverage. I don't know, maybe if we have anything else that has to do with draft coverage in the near future, we'll wait and see. We'll probably discuss that, but apart from that, the off-season content's coming. We'll for sure, I believe in a couple weeks the schedule comes out, so we'll give some analysis on the games that each of our teams has, to the gauntlet that they're going to make us run. So hope you guys come back for that. Hope you guys like and subscribe and enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys back for all the rest of the off-season content.